Welcome to You've Already Been Hacked. Recorded on 18 July 2020. This week we're going to talk a little bit about some stories that stuck out to me in the news that I think are worth talking about when it comes to cybersecurity and the things we really need to be kind of looking at in the undercurrent of what's going on. This is also very similar to a segment I do in my class on cybersecurity risk management. It's something I try to do to keep the material that we teach up to date and current for the students, because a lot of times, as all of you know, in cyber, in IT, in this world, information gets stale very quickly. So the idea behind this, when I came up with it, was how do I keep the topical information that we're teaching in class based on the materials that we've created timely, relevant, and practical for what the students are going to want to retain. Came up with news of the week. So here we go. This past week, a joint advisory coming out of the United States, Canada, and the UK says that Russian hackers are targeting COVID-19 vaccine research. Came from a group known as APT, or Advanced Persistent Threat 29, also known as Cozy Bear or the Dukes. Good names, good strong names for hacker groups. They were attempting to use spear phishing, authentication credentials, and anything that was internet accessible to gain access and their pivot points to get into the research. So a couple of the pieces of malware that they were using are known as WellMess and WellMail. So a nice little suite of information in there. WellMess is malware written in either Golang or .NET and has been used since as far back, and this is Stone Age style for cyber stuff, 2018. It's named after one of the functions in the malware. WellMess is a lightweight malware designed to execute arbitrary shell commands and upload and download files. So the malware supports HTTP, which is standard web browser protocols, TLS, and DNS communications methods. So if you're using the internet, you're using these protocols, and WellMess is going to use those to transmit what it wants, either up or down to the systems that it's targeting. WellMail is a lightweight tool designed to run commands and scripts with the results being sent to a hard-coded C2 server. So this is actually good for defenders. If the command and control server, or the device that the attackers are using to send the commands to WellMail is hard-coded, a la it does not change, a defender, if they're able to figure that out, can block out that hard-coded server's address, and then the malware will cease to exist. But they have to know it's there first. So these attacks were worldwide. ABT-29 is likely to continue to target organizations involved in our little human malware vaccine research, and will likely target other groups. My opinion, will target other groups as well as they do more related to this particular bug that we're trying to wrangle and get back under control. So even when we're trying to help out everyone, someone's still trying to take advantage of that situation. So let's see what else we got. We got cyber attacks, also related to human malware in healthcare, are skyrocketing right now. So attackers have been going against hospitals and other type of healthcare providers during this pandemic, especially because many of the more administrative workers, or the administrative type of work, is not being done on premises. It's being done at home. So in a report from IBM, they're saying that there's been a 6,000, that's 30% increase in the spam attacks. So just your standard phishing, generalized phishing, perhaps targeted phishing, leveraging the human malware on information technology systems between March and April. That's not even including where we are today here. Many of the targeted systems were at healthcare facilities, so likely because that's where the servers, the mail servers are located. But if you're targeting individuals too, it's a target-rich environment right now if you're a hacker. One topic near and dear to me that came out in the news this week, because I've been teaching it for many years as an example of something that was good. It was a precursor to some of the international policies that are out there now, is Privacy Shield. So this past week, the EU Court of Justice has invalidated the Privacy Shield data sharing agreement, which I found quite interesting. So the Court of Justice ruled that the EU and US data sharing agreement is no longer valid. The court said that Privacy Shield did not adequately protect EU residents' data when it was sent into to the United States or US systems. So it violated privacy law inside of the European Union. Even though when it was created in 2016, it was kosher. 4 years, look at how much has changed. So Safe Harbor came before that. Privacy Shield was like Safe Harbor version 2.0. Safe Harbor was deemed inadequate and established, and the establishment of standards and contractual clauses for Privacy Shield and Safe Harbor were kind of created in that short period of time. Those are still valid. So picking away at things, and I'm wondering if as we move forward, we're going to continue to refine this stuff. I can almost say that we definitely will. What I'm interested in is how do we determine that our best efforts at the time are no longer any good? And I think that the regulators themselves and IT professionals by themselves can't do it. I think it's got to be a whole team effort. And I think just invalidating an agreement, international agreement like that, maybe not the best of idea. Maybe you want to get the players back to the table and not just strike something down that may have been doing a good thing, even if it wasn't doing it perfectly. Let's see. Something I'm sure all of us heard about is that we'll go with a few, just a small amount of high-profile Twitter accounts were hacked by going into Twitter's back end. And so if you had a blue check mark, it could have been very problematic. And they got taken over and made to look very altruistic with Bitcoin addresses and what people were going to donate. And ultimately, the hackers received $120,000 worth of cryptocurrency before Twitter was able to shut the scam down. It was a coordinated social engineering attack that was successful, and the attack was against Twitter employees. So doesn't matter how good, and I talk to my students about this all the time, it doesn't matter how good your tech is. There's still a variable that sits between the keyboard and the chair that you have to be able to assist and train and have good diligence with, and that's the human. And the human is gonna make mistakes, and I do believe that mistakes are gonna happen, and attackers are gonna continuously try to exploit our better angels, where we think that the information we're getting, that the emails we're receiving, that the messages we're receiving, that the people that are calling us are genuine. And they're going to use that to their advantage, and it just seemed to happen that this time they were successful. So hopefully you didn't lose any cryptocurrency. Let's see. This is great. So if you're an eBayer or an auction site goer, or pick your favorite marketplace du jour online, you might be able to buy police body cams. Well, if you do, a used body cam purchased on eBay recently yielded unencrypted video of U.S. military police officers doing their job. Other body cameras that have been purchased online have yielded very similar items. This is kind of troubling because, one, why are those items being auctioned off on eBay? Two, why are they not being cleaned? What's the protocol for that? Are these people that just left the force or got out of the service and didn't return it and were like, well, I just have to get rid of it anyway? Maybe. So I think we have a bigger problem here as we require more and more of this monitoring as we go on. I don't think that the data is being left on there maliciously. I think that this is more negligence, and I think that there needs to be stronger policies involved with what are we doing with these government-provided materials when people leave. And I'm hoping that it is more of the I left, I got to get rid of it. It's excise type of thing. If the unit itself is excising it via eBay, I would call serious party foul on that. I just shouldn't be happening that way. Period. End of story. Researchers from Carbon Black, some good friends over there, have said that they've detected a new strain of ransomware called Conti. Conti is human-operated ransomware, meaning that the operators control it themselves. It's not automated. It's not just thrown in a does it thing. Somebody's manipulating stuff in real time. One of the notable features of it is that it uses 32 simultaneous CPU threads to encrypt data. What does that mean? It means it's fast. So let's see. For just comparison, if you know what the Intel Core 9900K is, it has 8 cores, 16 threads for CPU capacity. So a lot of power, and it's going to chew through your information very quickly. Now, if someone gets on your system and chews through your information that way, you're going to get locked out. And let's just hope you have that good offsite backup that's not going to be encrypted as well from shenanigans. Secret Service has set up a cyber fraud task force. It's merged. This task force is merged from 2 existing units. This is great, right? So it's helping to streamline and get the protectors, the defenders, those responsible for helping us get out of the muck, getting them together as opposed to stovepiping what who's doing what, right? So the 2 entities that they had joined together are the Electronic Crimes Task Force and the Financial Crimes Task Force, both of which, when you think about it, obvious when they were created. You're going to look at stuff that's digital. You're going to look at money, but it's 2020, and that's kind of one and the same these days. So why not get those teams to work as one team as opposed to singularly focused teams? I think it's a good thing. I think that we'll see more rapid response out of Secret Service because of it. The last story that piqued my interest this week was if you're interested in jackpotting, and I don't mean going to the casino, I mean ATM jackpotting, you won't be able to do it in Belgium anymore, at least not as much, presumably. So Belgian Bank closed down older ATMs this past week. So the older machines were scheduled to be replaced, and the ATMs belonged to the same bank that were hit by jackpotting last month in June. They decided to shut down 143 of these ATMs, and they are pending new device installations over the course of the year. Now, with everything that's going on this year, who knows if they'll actually get that all finished. And they're looking into if they can speed that operation up. I wish them all the best in doing that, considering human malware. So I don't know about you. I've seen movies with jackpotting. I've never actually seen it happen. Sarcastically, good on you if you're able to successfully get cash that way, because it's just another thing that, the attacker has to get right once and the defender has to get right 100% of the time. That's this week's You've Already Been Hacked. Let me know what you think. We're going to continue this. We'll see you again next week. Not every week is going to be news. We're looking to make interviews happen. We're looking to get guests. We're looking to have long-form discussions. And we're going to try and dig into some of the more interesting things. And hopefully we get somewhere with the conversation. I'm your professor of cyber risk. Have a great week.